you know, and all you unlucky folks are gonna be along for the ride if you want. You know, I don't know why you'd want that, but I'm sure there's some people who probably want that. I just wanted to make a quick video about some sound design that I've been getting into recently. I'm kind of new at it, so just bear with me and just know that if you want to tag along, I guess. I hope you enjoy this video, and without further ado, let's get right into it. We've had these video assets for a while, and there is some sound on them, but I wanted to do something a little bit different, maybe a little bit more impactful or edgy. Maybe I'll just play the original asset videos. Here we go. The opening logo. A couple of notes about that audio. Right in here, let's see. Really strong sounds, really windy. I don't really think you can hear it flapping. I think this is just wind blowing. But it does a weird thing, which makes sense, sort of, right there. So the audio cuts out because you're, and I'm sure it's because you're farther away from the bird is the idea of whoever did it, what they were trying to do. But it's weird because I don't think you're hearing the bird. I think you're hearing the ambient wind blowing everywhere. So it doesn't make sense for it to be quieter if you're farther away from the bird. That always bugs me. Maybe it's just my ADHD, okay? So, and then, okay, it's a bird, so you get a nice little screech as it flies by. And then the logo appears. Dark for Day 1 appears. Quietens out. So, whoops. So I wanted to do more of a something with more of impact on this, with a big riser, a big boom, and some echoes and some other stuff. So here's what I did. All of the sounds. Oh, I exited out of that again. Man, let's see here. Open a new tab. Yep, that's what I want to do right there. Okay, minimize you donk. So all of the sounds that you're gonna hear were generated with this. And this is Anna 2. You get it in the Slate Digital subscription, which I use. Anyway, all the sounds you got in here, it's just, this synthesizer just has, to my ears, and I use about 8 different synths, but this one has very, very high stereo quality presets. I mean, they sound fantastic. I love this synthesizer. I don't remember what they were all called, so I'm not going to try to replicate what I did. I'm just going to say, hey, I found a riser that I liked out of that synth, and all these sounds came from it. So we're going to play the first riser. Okay, nice quick end there. This riser starts out with a very resonant high mid range, and then it kind of opens up into more highs and lows. It's also very airy, very shh towards the end there. So I wanted a little bit more texture in that riser, and so I found this. Okay, and now the two together. Okay, that's filling out the spectrum pretty well. I wanted even more texture, and I wanted some flavor to really crank up that intensity right at the end of the riser, and so I found this. Okay. I also like the technical kind of futuristic look of our logo, so I'm trying to incorporate that also into this sound. Here are those three together. Okay, that's pretty cool. It's getting intense up in here, but I wanted to add a little of flavor, so to speak. So I added in a frequency sweep, and it sounds like this. Okay, and that's pretty quiet in there, but it does make a difference. So with all 4 of those, and this is the riser part of it. Okay, pretty intense. All right, so we're gonna mute these and switch over to the falls. At least that's the whams, the bams, the kabooms, whatever you want to call them. All right, so this is the first one. It's a classic. It's just a boom with a bunch of yeah, okay. So I thought that's cool, but it needs more. Now, if you notice, there is a gap in between these two, and I left that little gap on purpose because I feel like smashing them on top of each other, you lose the opportunity for a dramatic hit. So if you leave a little bit of a space, get this. Okay, that little bit of a space makes it very dramatic. I don't think that space should be completely empty, but for the main stop and go, yeah, probably. But I did add this little pew, pew sound. So it's kind of very dramatically dives down into the hit. So let's just play the sound by itself. Okay, and that fills out a different frequency spectrum than the other one and kind of fills out. So it sounds like this. So that's pretty dramatic sounding, I think. So let's go ahead and hear that all together. Okay, it's dramatic, but that's what I was wanting to go for, something just very impactful, attention getting. So I heard this and thought that's kind of empty. It's a lot of sound, right? So I added in a little bit of a thunder echo to try to add some spatial sound to it and depth. And we got this. Nice echo rumble. And then I wanted to add a little bit of flavor at the end and a little bit of techno because I feel like our logo is kind of techy looking, futuristic tech kind of. So I added in this sound right here. Let's see. I don't want to be cliche and say Transformer. It does kind of remind me of that. That's why they chose those sounds for Transformers, because it's kind of a futuristic, and it's just a Bram. It's just a big Bram that I messed around with a little LFO and made it do wow, you know. That's very satisfying. So I'll play all of it together, and then we will watch the video with some of the editing tweaks that I did to match this impactful riser. And there it is. So let's watch that video. Let's look at the original one real quick. Okay, now if you notice, he flies by really slow. Way too slow for this sound. All right. So I sped up parts of the video and slowed down other parts to kind of make it fit the sound that I made and my vision for it. So here is the new video. I think that's pretty interesting. Now, there's some issues with the video codec on this, and you can see I've got some weird blooming, and the timing is not perfect right there, where I sped it up for him to like fly past really fast. But we're not going to talk about that right now. This is more about the sound part of it. I'm going to go back and mess with that stuff, but it's something usable for now, I feel like. The closing logo is this one here, and here's the original. All right, so we just have this big chord. One is violins. Sounds like a pipe organ down in the mix. Just angsty, dissonant, emo version of Choirs of Angels. I guess maybe trying to match this really huge scale. You know, you're looking at planets, and our logo's on the whole damn planet. But I wanted something a little bit more subtle, atmospheric, and maybe I felt signal. When I looked at this, I'm like, I want to hear like a signal of some sort. Like if I'm looking at planets way over there, maybe I've got a radio, or I've got a signaling device. So with that in mind, I threw it into good old Clipchamp, and I added a basic ass glitch effect, and we're gonna look at that. All right, trying not to spoil it with sound glitch effect. And I made the video faster, so it would just kind of do its thing, not be so damn slow. And yeah, the sound that I found was a one-hit wonder. It was exactly the sound that I wanted. And here it is. And that's cool, but it's exactly the kind of muted sound I wanted, because that's what space would be like, or that would infer the idea of what space would sound like. But I still wanted to brighten it up a little bit, because I thought those glitch sounds on top were a little bit muted, which is fine, but I thought they were a little too much. So I threw in fresh air, and the way this plugin works. So there aren't any high frequencies to boost, right? It's just got a really, really hard high cut. So the way this app works is it generates formants. It creates little harmonic frequencies on the high end. It's not an EQ. It's not boosting. It's creating all new sounds. Let's just listen to it with this. It's kind of subtle. Let me go ahead and turn that on. That's why we didn't hear the difference between the two. That was really subtle, wasn't it? All right. Without it. With it. You hear a little bit more of that crackling, and then we boosted up the area. So let's A/B it. Here's without it. And with it. Okay. So, and this is this one you're about to see is actually before I boosted the highs on it. So there's still work to do on these. I just wanted to make this video about my journey in making the sound for them, because it's kind of new for me. I understand the premise of it, but I'm more of a music guy, so this type of sound design is fascinating for me and new. So I'm just kind of learning it as I go. And it's muted. Now there's levels to this. If I wanted to do this correctly, I would probably throw the original video into VSDC, which is a much more powerful video editing program, much more powerful than Clipchamp anyway, and then key in the glitch effects to match when they're happening in the track. So every time we've got one of those, and I got lucky that like 40 to 50% of them kind of line up anyway. But I was in a hurry and had a lot of other things to do. So I just skimped on it and just, good old Clipchamp. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully I'm going to be making a lot more, not just on sound design, but on music and stuff that I'm doing and goals. And, when all you unlucky folks are going to be along for the ride if you want. I don't know why you'd want that, but I'm sure there's some people who probably want that.